Welcome back to the SCG show. I'm SCG. This video is how to make money on Etsy, and I will also be showing my earning proof. But if you're new to this channel, please like, comment, subscribe, and hit the little bell notification button at the bottom so you can be notified of all our new content. I try my best to do videos every single day. We talk about absolutely everything. Enough fluff, enough promotion. Let's get into it. So I started trading on Etsy, which is a platform that essentially you can sell arts and crafts, you can sell handmade products, you can sell clothing, and I did it last year around about this time. So the beginning of January 2019. It's the 15th of January 2020 now. This video is going to be released a little bit after that. And you know, a lot of people try to tell you, oh, you can make money by doing this, you can make money by doing that. But I was a very artistic sort of person. I like to paint things. I'm quite good with Editor, I'm quite good with Canva, I'm quite good with Photoshop. I like to paint, I like to draw. So I dedicated an entire year around my work promoting and building up an Etsy store. And for those of you who are interested in going to see my Etsy store, the link is in the description below. So the question is, how do you make money on Etsy? Well, you find your niche and you find what you're good at and you dedicate time to it and you just keep working, really. You don't just fluff around saying, oh, maybe I'll do it tomorrow, maybe I'll do it this way. Essentially, Etsy is a business. Now, you're not going to be a multi-millionaire from Etsy tomorrow. Having said that, there are some huge shops on there that are selling handmade products. In fact, there is a very big shop on there selling just stickers that has, I think, close to 700,000 sales. So, huge revenue. The website has massive traffic. It is becoming one of the biggest marketplaces in the world. So, you've got your Amazon, obviously. Then you've got other stores similar to that, like eBay, which is a marketplace, and Etsy is sort of creeping up to join them as one of the world's largest and most successful marketplaces. And if I'm being completely honest, I had no idea what Etsy was, and I had no idea how it worked, but I researched it, I did all of the work, and it sort of became this sort of side hustle where I dedicated an entire year. That's my philosophy. I like to dedicate 365 days almost to a project and let it work passively for me. So I spent a lot of time creating my products, designing my artwork, and doing essentially the products and the sales that I wanted to do. And by doing that, it allowed me to generate income. Not a lot, but it's decided to allow me to generate passive income. And by doing that, it brought in a few extra £100 a month, which you can't really complain. So enough talk about what I did and how I got started. Let's just move on to the income proof. So as you can see here, this is a screenshot from inside my Etsy seller dashboard from January 2019 to January 2020. I'll read all the stats to you. 29,000 visitors in total, 361 orders. I've actually had more than that because some other people have bought more products than one. A conversion rate of 1.2%, which is pretty good. 2% is the sweet spot when you're trying to convert products, visitors to sales. But I was relatively new when I started out, and my goal was to try get, by the end of the year, on average, a sale a day. And as you can see, the revenue there, £2,982 for the whole year, essentially, January to January. You can see a massive spike in the graph, and that is having a really high amount of visitors around Christmas period, because with Christmas, there's obviously going to be loads of people shopping, there's going to be people off from work, there's going to be people getting those last minute gifts in, and essentially jumping onto Etsy for something a little bit original and something a little bit different as well. But I'm really happy with these earnings because essentially what it's cost me really is just time, and it's just cost me essentially the listing fee. So every time you create a product on Etsy, you have to pay a listing fee, which is around 15 pence UK, but 20 cent US dollar. So essentially you're paying 20 cent every time, and your product will be listed on the Etsy marketplace for around 3 months. So that's 3 months worth of exposure. You've obviously got to do some SEO, which I'm a little bit of an expert in as well. And at the same time, what I did was I built up a Pinterest account, which I shared all of my products onto Pinterest. That Pinterest now gets around 50,000 monthly impressions a month. That also includes my blog posts as well, but mainly my Etsy product listings with the title and description and so on and so forth. And that traffic goes from there. But I'll dive into the traffic stats a little bit deeper so I can explain everything, so you could see, pretty much everything behind it. So this is my Etsy statistics for the last 12 months again. Now it says here Etsy brought 71% of visits. So as you can see, 8,476 visitors came from the Etsy app and other pages. 3,409 came from Etsy search. And the other one says Etsy marketing and SEO, 8,760. I don't really know what that means because I didn't actually advertise on the platform at all, because you have the option to advertise, but you can't set your bids, which is a bit silly really, because I'm not going to spend money to advertise a product, and I could be bidding up to like $1, $2 just for one click. It's not worth it for me. And then we look at the other 29%, which is direct and other traffic, 2,689. I've never really understood that, because I didn't really have much direct traffic because I didn't have another website or another way to send traffic directly, but somehow, some way, people were finding my products. And then obviously that bottom figure, social media, 1,384 visitors, which is really cool because again, that's from my Pinterest. Pinterest, believe it or not, is the third largest search engine in the world. So number one is Google, number two is YouTube. That's right, I use YouTube actually more so than Google for searching certain terms. For example, how to tie a tie, or how to do certain things that I can't be bothered to read about. I'd rather watch a video tutorial on. And of course, Pinterest is the next highest one. And the reason why Pinterest is so popular is because essentially it just seems to have a massive amount of users, massive amount of traffic, a predominantly female audience. And a statistic was released last year that the average household income of the Pinterest users is a bit more mature. You see, a lot of young audiences are on things like Twitter and Instagram, whereas Pinterest is a bit more of a mature, sophisticated audience. And like I said, the average income actually is $50,000 up. So if they see a picture of a product or a service that they might like or whatever, they're more likely to convert because, like I said, they're pretty much high earners and they're a female audience. And Etsy is also massively, predominantly a female audience marketplace. So a lot of women go on there to buy clothing, to buy jewelry. In fact, some famous people have actually made posts on their massive Instagram accounts saying, I bought these pair of earrings or this bracelet or this type of clothing from Etsy. And that's where Etsy is just getting more and more popular every single day, every single year, which is great for me because if you've got an Etsy store on there and you sort of establish yourself and you get a couple of reviews and so on and so forth, then essentially what you can do is build up a nice little reputation for yourself. So as the marketplace and the website just keeps expanding over the years, you'll be getting more traffic. And it's amazing, really, because I was out and about on just the other day on a Sunday, and I was just filling up my tank at a petrol station, and when I went in to pay, my phone buzzed off because there's an Etsy seller app that you can have as well, which you can get notifications every time you make a sale. And I sold a product that I had created 6 months before, and I obviously renewed it again because I had sold it previously. But like, you could make money from products that you created so long ago, whilst you're out and about and not realizing it. And look, you're not going to become a millionaire. Maybe my Etsy store will continue to grow, but who knows? And now I'm going to show you exactly what I sell. You don't have to copy me as such, but you know, it can give you influence if you want to start making your own money and starting your own Etsy business yourself. So here are a screenshot of exactly what I sell on Etsy, and that is art printables and printable stickers. Now, what is an art printable? So as you can see here, these are the most recent products up here, and they're the most recent there because they've been sold recently. And when they're sold, they actually get renewed and automatically, so they're renewed automatically for the next couple of months. So what an art printable is it's a piece of artwork essentially that I've created or I've painted or I've edited using Photoshop, whatever. And how it works is the person clicks on the product, and let's say the nice butt or the balcony picture that you can see there, or the ballerina, it doesn't really matter, any of those products, they buy that product, okay, and then they download the product automatically in a JPEG or a PDF. Because essentially the reason why they're called printables is you download them and you can print them off and you can stick them up on your wall or in your office or wherever and have that piece of artwork for a fraction of the price of actually going out and buying a canvas or an actual print already in frame, whatever. Printables are a massive market on Etsy, and the reason why I enjoy doing it is because I really like being artistic, and I like, you know, I have a arts, you know, diploma from years ago, and as you can see there, I even painted the Northern Lights, and I did a recreation of Niagara Falls, but I also do text artwork with the nice butt, welcome to the library, and I research, and essentially what I did is I just targeted all sorts of people, so I didn't stick to one particular niche. I decided to just, I'm an art printable and printable stickers. It's the same thing with the stickers. People can print off a sheet of stickers for very cheap, and essentially what they would do is they could put them onto you know, actual stickers themselves and, you know, edit it themselves. What I encourage as a seller is I allow my customers to essentially do whatever they want with their prints. If they want to enlarge them, make them smaller, put them in their library, put them in their child's nursery, put them wherever they want on their, you know, in their bedroom, it doesn't really matter. And I spent so much time painting, I spent so much time editing, I spent so much time creating last year, almost 12 months of the year, creating all of these posts. These are all original posts that I, designs, sorry, not posts, that I've created myself, that I've edited and I've brought to life through my design skills myself. I haven't ripped anybody off. I haven't tried to copy anybody. I've just done it myself, because one problem that you're going to have on Etsy is if you, for example, decide to paint a picture of a famous person, or you know, a famous cartoon character or brand, which a lot of Etsy sellers are doing, for example Mickey Mouse, or you're doing something Disney related, or you're doing one of the Avengers, something like that, then you will be met with a copyright infringement. So essentially people will find you, and they will, the lawyers of these big companies, they will report you, and they will essentially potentially shut your store down, because Etsy is very big on privacy policy and very big on copyright. So they want people to create their own designs, create their own things, and that's why I've done like pretty generic stuff. Like I've painted famous places, or I've edited famous phrases to not have a specific copyright, because some words might have a specific copyright in there, but that's very important. But essentially, the type of product you really sell on Etsy is not that important, as long as you don't drop ship that product. So what I mean is, if you don't actually take the product, buy it from another supplier and pretend that it's you. No, you have to have ownership of these products. You have to know that you're actually the person behind it. And also, you got to be reasonably priced as well. My prints cost anywhere between £3 to £5. That's only a couple of dollars. So they're reasonable, they're cheap. And the good thing about printables for me personally, and why I can actually focus on my main brand, which is SCG Show, is I don't have to do any fulfillment. So they download the printable, which I've designed myself. It goes straight into their email straight away. There's no costs, only time. That's why I love this business model, because essentially they're buying digital products which I've created, and it goes straight into their account. They're getting it for a reasonable price, and that's pretty, I'm not going to say easy money, but simple money, in the sense that it just works passively in the background. Like I said, I was out filling up my tank for my car on Sunday, and I got a sale for a product I created ages ago. That's how passive income kind of works. It's passive. You've done the work up front, you put the time in, you've put the energy, but essentially you're reaping the benefits and the rewards in the future. But now I'm going to show you what potentially, if you really dedicate a lot of time, energy and resources to it, what you can really make from Etsy by showing one of the top sellers on the platform, and you can work out just how much money these people are making. So this is Planner Kate, and she's made over 860,000 sales since 2014, and she averages anywhere between 500 up to 1,000 sales per day. And all she does is sells stickers for planners. That's it. So it doesn't have to be printables. It could be jewelry. It could be candles. It could be little things that you knit. It's all about handmade. It could be little pieces of artwork, cards. It doesn't matter. But let's just put it into context. So she's made, let's say, 850,000 sales, and she sells them for £4.81. That's £4 million she has made from Etsy alone. But obviously, unlike printables, which are very competitive, I should add, she has worked hard. She's been on the platform for 6 years, and she is a millionaire thanks to Etsy. I'm pretty sure that's all she does all the time. I'd love to get her on my show one day when I start doing my podcast as well, and just have a chat with her and see how much her life has changed. But she's not the only one. There's other people out there that are selling necklaces or bracelets, and they're hitting similar numbers. There's some people that are selling just Instagram filters or photo filters, and they're making over 1,000 sales a day. 1,000 sales. And even if you sell them for just $1, for example, that's $1,000 a day. Etsy is getting millions and millions of visitors every single month, and a large majority of them, like I said, are female, and they're buying. Now, I'm nowhere near the Planner Kate level, and most likely I will never be the Planner Kate level. But having said that, it does give you that inspiration to realize that if you have good products and you have good customer service, and maybe it's just a hobby, maybe you like creating pieces of art or pieces of clothing, whatever, that isn't copywritten, or maybe you want to sell printables and you want to sell funny quotes that you come up with, or pieces of artwork, or you like drawing animals. It doesn't really matter. The traffic is there, and it will grow, and it will continue to grow. So if you want to start making money on Etsy, my advice to you is do your research, read their privacy policies, ask them how to open a shop. There's plenty of other channels that will tell you how to open a shop, how to create a shop. But I'm telling you how to make money on Etsy. And the simple way to do it is to do it legitimately, work hard, research your SEO, because you can't just say duck picture on Etsy or sell like smiley face stickers. There is a lot of competition. There is something like 2 million stores on there, and you're competing with them. But having said that, if you work hard and you dedicate a year, 6 months, maybe even 2 years, however much time you've got to doing it, you will reap the rewards. Now I'm onto new projects. Now I'm working on different things. But Etsy, it operates in the background for me. And it's just a nice little earner. And who knows, maybe one day I will be making 1,000 sales a month. Who knows? Over time, once you build up a reputation, once you have good customer service, yes, even if you're selling printables, you still have to answer queries, you still have to help people out with their questions. Regardless of what you're going to do, you still have to be a proactive, active person. Etsy likes active people, but it's never too late to start. Just have realistic expectations, dedicate your time to it. For me, I loved doing it. I loved painting. I loved creating all of the artwork, and I set myself a target. I would like to create close to 1,000 products. I'm at 990. I've actually got more products, but I've disabled them because Christmas is over and they're quite seasonal, most of those products. But around Black Friday, Q4, you will see a massive spike in traffic and sales, and that really is the best time to capitalize on that. But it's January, it's a fresh start, or whenever you're watching this, it's never too late to start something. So research it, have a look at it. It's a nice way to make a little bit of passive income, my Etsy income that comes in is only going to go up. The more sales I make, the more customer service I provide, hopefully the more 5-star reviews I get. And, if I was to dedicate more time to it, the more products I would create, more sales I get. But I'm happy with the products I've got. I've got different products in different niches. I've got Christmas printables, I've got animal printables, I've got bathroom printables, I've got I've got flower printables, I've done different travel ones, I've done loads of different ones. I'm very happy with them. And essentially, like I said, you don't have to do printables. You could sell little handmade gifts, little clothings, things you want, whatever. But whatever it is you want to do, and if you want free traffic to your Etsy store, here's another idea. Put it in the comment section below. Google recognizes that the more traffic that you're getting to your site or your store, then it will rank higher. So this will work. So if you want to advertise your store in the comment section, please do. Who knows? Someone might visit this store, this video. They might think, "Oh, I really like this. This is interesting," and then they find your product, so they find your store, and then boom, they might buy a product from you, and that's free sales. That's free exposure. But anyway, put your product below. Best of luck, and I'll see you all in the next video.